Hi, welcome to the Make Do Kitchen. Today I'm showing you my Make Do garden. So we live on a corner plot. We don't have a ton of, we have a nice size for, I guess, for our neighborhood. There are a lot bigger houses. Um, my son's fishing boots that he left out. This is my coneflower, echinacea. Um, I'm having some problems with some pests, which are groundhogs and chipmunks, and they clear chopped like a bunch of my leaves from my coneflower. These are strawberries. They're called early girls, so they came up really heavily in the beginning of June, and now there's nothing. They usually just grow and grow, and then they just die. My husband just built this little fence around it just to keep the dog from going in it. But it's kind of sad because they don't produce a whole lot, and I think maybe we got 10 or 11 strawberries out of this year. The the little animals and things, they get it. It's more of like just a fun thing that we do. This is some mint. I've never quite figured out if it's spearmint, peppermint, or just a regular mint. Here are two of my tomato plants. We've again been having chipmunks digging up holes, tunneling all through this area. So I took a third tomato plant out of here. I think I'm just gonna eventually move these tomato plants and just, I don't know, let the chipmunk have the space and let the mint take over. Um, yeah. So these are some things I need to pull, and this is all the mint. Um, this is some plastic. We used to have screens up, and the boys, year after year, kicked holes through the screening with their soccer balls. So I think this year my older son is not as interested. There's our one-armed peace frog. My older son's not as interested, so I think we should be okay. Here is a cucumber plant. I don't know why, excuse me, I don't know why I'm covering it. I guess I'm afraid of pests getting to it, but at some point I'm going to need to do something else with it. So there is our lounging frog, and this is a Japanese teapot that I got years ago, 20 years ago, for our wedding. I used it in the house for many years. It started to get rusty inside, and then I was not able to clean it as well as I'd liked, so I put it outside. And we enjoy it in the garden. Here is a pepper plant that I have growing. It's got a lot of little babies coming in, cubanelle. There is a basil plant, my little garden gnome, and that is an old little push cart that my kids used to play with. This is just a hopeless case of maybe a cucumber plant. I usually can't grow cucumbers. Another tomato plant. Usually my cucumbers, that's going to be for fire starters for the fall and winter. Usually sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. My cat is on my lap, and I guess I thought I went faster. That was my son's little clubhouse. We got to take that down. And we had two trees cut down a couple years ago against our will for cable. And this is where the groundhog hides. So we got to take all this down. But see, my husband took all of the leaves down. They went all the way down onto our rock wall. And that's also where the chipmunks live. So in this bed, I just have some thyme. I have a big bush of oregano, and I have a little baby sage plant, my sorrel, and this is all dandelion greens, which I leave for the groundhog, because you could see he's definitely chomping on those. This is just an empty lot. I was just letting it kind of grow this year. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And the other end are potatoes. Those are 2 bins I got to work on. I had a lot of kind of busts with seeds this year. I had lavender seeds. They were from the dollar store. They did not come up. But then I had other seeds that were from the dollar store, like that basil plant on the right, and they definitely came up. Right there, that's dollar store seeds right there. Again, dollar store seeds. So I guess it's hit or miss. But there's a lot of things that I have to pull out from under the netting and try to repot. I put sunflower seeds in the ground. I don't know if they just were duds or if the animals and birds ate them. I'm not really sure. This is bee balm. This is about the 2nd or 3rd year I've had it. It never flowers. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And it always gets the powdery mildew. And I've chopped it down once, like I cut it real low after it had bloomed. It was, it didn't bloom. It was huge. I cut it down this spring, and it grows back with powdery mildew. Here are some bean plants that I have growing. They're barlotti beans, which I guess are a cranberry bean. And then those are some dollar store radishes. And so those seem to be coming up. You could see them in the little line. And then I'm not sure what is down there. This is some Swiss chard, some lettuce. This is a mixture. I was doing spinach, but it looks like some little animals might have moved some cucumber, or I don't know. It looks like cucumber plants. Does this happen to anyone else? That's just sort of a mess of things that the little critters do the gardening for you. One year we had a ton of sunflowers growing. Not because I planted them. That my husband and I just put together yesterday. The left side is all potatoes, and I haven't thought about what I'm going to do on the right side. And I stopped because I was trying to put this rubber like topping on, but I just couldn't. I have bad thumbs. So there are some flowers that'll come up. I transplanted some mint because I just wanted it in a different area. So it seems to be moving on. There's just a small wood pile. Another space that I'm just letting grow for now. I'm not sure what I want to do with it, if anything. You know, when you have a groundhog or chipmunks that are aggressive, you kind of feel a little hopeless. Sorry, I'm enjoying a hot cup of coffee, which I haven't had in weeks. There's some arugula, wild arugula that keeps growing in our yard, which I'm so grateful for. So we pick that and eat that. There's another tomato plant I put there. There's some green onions and scallions and chives. I have some parsley that just started coming up. And I have a bunch of dill, which I love. I love to just freeze dill and put it in the garden. Put it in the freezer. Forgive me. So yeah, this is what I do with my scallions. If I buy them from the store, I let them sit in water for a few days, and then I put them out in the garden. Those are all wildflowers. There's our trusty owl, who doesn't seem to scare anyone. These are all potatoes. I started these early on. There's some more. They're in just an old laundry basket. And there's a hamper full of potatoes. And I had heard, this is our rock wall, and that's a lot of, my husband did the majority of the work, and now he's got to do just the rest of that. But we have all these tiger lilies, and we didn't want to cut them down, so it's going to be kind of difficult. And there's our lake. There's our little view of our lake. And this is just, there are more potatoes. They haven't started coming up yet because I only just planted them. But I'm really hoping these potatoes do well. And the tomatoes, because near us, tomatoes are like $3 a tomato. I had a lot of lettuce that just started up on its own. There's a basil plant and a lot of different types of lettuce and some dandelion greens, which I let stay in my garden because I eat them. So I'm very lucky this year. A lot of things came back. Chives came back. Arugula came back. Lots of different things. Sorrel. Lots of different things came back. So we don't have a perfect yard. We're in the process. We're always doing. We're moving our little, you could see those bricks there. We had our little fire pit, but we need to move it down a little bit, I think. So there's that. There's there's always something. But that's our view of the lake. And we're happy to have it. Thanks for stopping by.